Hi, welcome back to Reading with Money. I'm Money, and today I'm filming the If My Cat Lets Me. Let's start that again, shall we? Hi, welcome back to Reading with Money. I'm Money, and today I'm doing the mid-year freakout tag. I can never remember the exact title of this thing, but yes, I did it last year, and it's time for me to do it again. If my cat lets me. Okay, before we get to the tag itself, I have some stats. Not a lot, but some stats. I have read, as of the end of June, I have read 43 books, which is a lot. My goal for the year was 75, so I'm well on track. I'm like 6 books ahead or something. And the funny thing is that 21 were read in June because of the Wonderthon, which I'll talk about later. Yes. I don't know what to tell you. It was an intense month. June was incredible. My average rating, I haven't calculated it yet, but I think I have given most books either 4 or 5 stars, so that's good. And I've also read a lot of ARCs, so I'm very happy about that as well. And I haven't calculated the page count, although I could do that very quick, but I'll put it up here when I calculate it because I'm not doing that right now, but I'll put it in editing. I think it's quite a lot for this half of the year. So yeah, definitely more than last year at this point, I think. So I don't know why I'm telling you this. Like, it's not a competition with last year. It's certainly interesting for me to see how much I've read. Without further ado, let's get to the tag. The tag was originally created by Ellie from Earl Grey Books. I'll leave her channel linked down below. Let's just get started. I'll be looking to the side to my laptop to see, and my notes and everything. So yes, I probably won't be giving a lot of details on these books, but I will leave the Goodreads description linked down below as well, in case you want to know more about them. So, first question, best book you've read so far in 2023? I don't know. I don't know. I have so many that I could mention. I do give a lot of 5 stars, but I think that so far my favorite is The Secrets of Harwood Hall by Katie Lumsden. I had been really anticipating this book because I follow Katie's channel. I'll also leave it linked down below. Her channel is Books and Things, and I really adore her channel, and I had been following along with whatever updates she was giving on her publishing experience, and this cat is not gonna let me film this video, is she? I was very excited when I finally received it. You'll probably be seeing this again, but this is like a gothic mystery set in the 19th century. Honorable mentions go to A Pale View of Hills by Kazuo Ishiguro. I absolutely love this, as I love every Ishiguro book I've ever read, basically. This is also historical fiction, but we follow this woman who is recalling her experiences in Nagasaki before she left for the UK. That's all I'm gonna say. And also this, Good Morning, Good Night by Lin-Manuel Miranda with illustrations by Johnny Sun. This is a poetry collection, basically tweets that Lin-Manuel had posted. And yeah, yes, you'll see this again. Next is best sequel you have read so far. And that has to be Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is the second one in the Alex Stern series. I adored this book. I think I liked it more than Ninth House. The Alex Stern series follows this girl who can see ghosts, and she's asked to supervise the houses in Yale that can do magic because of her abilities, and that's all I can really say. Next is new release you haven't read yet, but you really want to. I have a couple for those. I have a lot. The first that come to mind are The Whispering Muse by Laura Purcell. I actually put it on a TBR or 2 and I didn't get to it, so I really want to read it. It's, again, I guess, a gothic mystery, I think. And the other one that comes to mind, which I recently found out about, is Voices of the Dead by Ambrose Parry. This is the 4th book in the Raven, Fisher and Simpson series, which follows this doctor and this nurse, sort of, solving mysteries in 19th century Edinburgh. Really, really love that series. I read the first 2 books back in 2021, I think, and last year was the 3rd book, and I just found out that the 4th book is out, so I am super excited about that, and I'm definitely gonna try to read it this month. Next is anticipated releases. What are your most anticipated releases for the last half of the year? Again, I have a lot of those. The first one is A Power Unbound by Freya Marsky. This is the third and I think final, yes, book in the, what is it called? Last Binding? I was right, in the Last Binding series, trilogy, whatever. I really enjoyed the first two books, and I cannot wait to see the conclusion. This is 19th century magic world sort of mystery with a lot of like gay romances. So very excited to read the last one. And also there's Thursday Murder Club number 4. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put the picture up here. I think that the title has been announced already. I love the Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman, and yeah, can't wait to read the next one. It's about these 4 senior citizens who solve mysteries. It's very funny. And the one I'm most excited about, which comes out in September, is In These Hallowed Halls, which is a dark academia short story collection. And it has a story by Emil Rio of If We Were Villains fame. I cannot tell you how excited I am to read another thing from Emil Rio. I'm just, yes. I think there's also a story by Olivia Blake, so also cool. And I don't know who else is writing for this, but I am beyond excited. I cannot even tell you. So can't wait for September just for that reason. Okay, moving on to something less exciting, which is the biggest disappointment of the year. And I think I'll have to say The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. I talked about this in my wrap-up, but it's about humans making contact with aliens, but the aliens are not aliens. They're actually on Earth, and they're octopi, I don't know, who have developed language. And I wanted a contact story, and that's not exactly what I got. So I was kind of disappointed in that. It's not a bad book per se, but it ended in the worst moment possible, like for me to get what I wanted out of the book, let's say, without spoiling things. So that was my biggest disappointment, I think. Next is the biggest surprise. I struggled with this a bit, but then I remembered The Terror by Dan Simmons, which I just finished. It was surprising because there's an element in this book that I did not know about. I don't remember if my friend told me about it, but I definitely did not register that, and I definitely did not read the blurb, so I just went into it, and then I was like, oh wait, there's a supernatural element in this. What is this? If you don't know, The Terror is a fictionalized version of the Franklin expedition into the Arctic, the one that got lost. So yes, that was very surprising, and the whole book itself has a lot of like surprising moments, I would say. I will talk about it more in my wrap-up, but yes, that was definitely surprising. It's also huge. Next is new favorite author. I don't know how to do this. It says in the question like new to you or debut. If it's debut, I definitely will go with Katie Lumsden for The Secrets of Hardwood Hall. I cannot say this. Hardwood Hall. Oh my god. Because yes, this is her debut novel and I really loved it. Then if it's like new to me, I have Martha Wells. I read 4 of her Murderbot Diaries books, and I'll talk more about them later, but that was definitely new to me. But also I would have to say Becky Chambers and T. Kingfisher. I read 2 Kingfisher books last year, and the third one that I read this year, A House with Good Bones, definitely solidified T. Kingfisher as a favorite author. Same thing for Becky Chambers. Last year I read A Song for the Wild-Billed, and this year I read To Be Taught If Fortunate, and that really solidified her as well. So yay, I cannot wait to read more from both of these authors and to continue the Murderbot series. So I think that definitely counts as new favorite author. Okay, next is new fictional crush. Last year I definitely had a fictional crush. I'm not so sure about this year. So what I chose to do is the same as I have seen other booktubers do, which is to talk about their favorite couple, or like what couple, you know, gives you all the feels or something. Like new OTP, which is, wow, blast from the past, that term. I would have to go with Victor and Hap from In the Lives of Puppets, because it was adorable and I love TJ Klune. And every couple he writes, I just, yes. In the Lives of Puppets is a Pinocchio retelling, but with robots. that's it. That's all I have to tell you. Next is favorite characters, and for this I had a lot of fun choosing my favorite characters, and they're all robots. So the first one is Murderbot, obviously from the Murderbot Diary series. What can I say? I love it. I just, yes, the humor, the reluctant faith in humanity. I don't know, just everything about the Murderbot character just speaks to me. And then more robots. I would have to say Nurse Ratched from The Lives of Puppets, because yes, she was the best. Nurse Ratched is a nurse robot with like homicidal tendencies, and yes, everything she said was hilarious and I loved her. Yes, that's it. Next is a book that made you cry. I think I've mentioned this many times before, but I tend to tear up at most books. Like, yes. I'm pretty sure I teared up with most of the books I read this year, but the ones that really like hit me, I would have to say, is Good Morning, Good Night. Some of these, I actually tabbed a few of these, just really is what I needed to read, I guess. And yes, I cried, definitely cried. The other one that made me cry, surprisingly, is a thriller, 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton, I think. This is about a school shooting, and I cried many times. As a teacher, it really was difficult to read about this school shooting, even though it's a fictionalized school shooting. But yes, it made me tear up. This is a book told in multiple perspectives, and both the teacher's perspectives and the kids' perspectives made me cry. So yes, that was certainly interesting. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to think about that book too much. It just, yeah. Next is a book that made me happy, and for that, I have chosen The Ladies of Grey Sedu by Susanna Clarke, just for the pure reason that it was so magical. I was so happy to be back in the Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell world that I just, yeah. It's a collection of short stories, all based in her world, in her magical world, and it was just, yes, it made me really happy. Honorable mention to Stardust by Neil Gaiman, because I love Neil Gaiman and his writing always makes me happy, and this is a particularly, I mean, it has some dark moments, but it's mostly like a happy adult fairy tale, and yes, it also made me really happy. Next is the most beautiful book that you have bought this year, that you have received, and it's definitely The Secrets of Harwood Hall. I mean, look at it. Also, it has beautiful end papers, and it's not even a special edition. This is just the way it is, and I just, yes, it's like a beautiful green, and green is my favorite color, so yes, this is definitely the most beautiful one. But there's an honorable mention to Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I mean, this is a beautiful cover as well, but it's a chunker. I haven't gotten to this yet, but hopefully it's on the TBR. All right, next is favorite adaptation, favorite book adaptation to a movie or TV show. I haven't seen many, but definitely Daisy Jones and the Six. Yes, I devoured that whenever a new episode came out. I really enjoyed it. I don't know what to tell you. My sister didn't like it as much, and my cousins who have also read the book, but I loved it. I loved the music. I thought that Riley Keough, who played Daisy, was amazing. Yeah, I just really liked it. I think it also helped that I read Daisy Jones and the Six a while ago, so there's a lot of details that I was not sure about, so I could actually enjoy the TV show for what it was, and I really liked it. I still listen to the soundtrack. So next is favorite video that you have done this year. I'm not sure. Probably my Wonderthon vlogs, which I'll link up above, because the Wonderthon itself was super fun. It was a readathon created by Lizzie from Lizzie's Literary Life. I'll leave her channel down below. And yeah, I was part of the Rhodes team, led by Ruby from Ruby Red. Also, I'll link her channel down below. And it was a lot of fun. It was great. And it made me read 20 books in like 16 days. I was vlogging my way through the readathon, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And finally, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't have like a set need to read kind of thing, but I definitely, hold on. I definitely have to read Christadora. It's on the TBR for July. Like, I'm gonna do this month, but I definitely need to read this because I told my friend I would read it like 6 months ago. So I have to read this. This is historical fiction and part contemporary, I think, and it's all set around this building called Christodora, which is an actual building in New York. And yeah, that's what I definitely need to read before my friend disowns me. Although I did read The Terror. I did finish that. I can't wait to see her and talk about it. Anyway, I think that's the end of the tag. Let me know if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them. And yeah, let me know what is your most anticipated book for the rest of the year, because it's always good to find out what else is coming out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to see, well, my June wrap-up, which I'm kind of scared of filming because it's 21 books. But yes, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Happy reading!